Hello, and welcome to Inside Inspired Women. On the show, we're going to discuss the journey to inner peace and inspiration. And our goal is to encourage, uplift, and inspire women everywhere. I'm your host, Dr. Tabatha Russell. Hello, and welcome to Inside Inspired Women, where we discuss the journey to inner peace and inspiration. I'm your host, Dr. Tabatha Russell, and on today, I have a super amazing guest with me, Miss Acetra D. Russell. She is a remarkable woman who wears many hats and brings a wealth of experience and expertise to every role she undertakes. As the wife of Anthony Russell, she is a devoted partner and loving mother to a beautiful blended family. With her deep passion for personal growth and transformation, Acetra serves as a business integrator at Boeing in Jacksonville, Florida. In this capacity, she combines her exceptional organizational skills and strategic mindset to streamline processes and drive efficiency. Her ability to bring diverse teams together and foster collaboration has made her an invaluable asset to the organization. Beyond her professional endeavors, Acetra is a highly skilled life and transformation coach. Drawing from her own life experiences and journey, she empowers individuals to break through barriers, embrace their potential, and create meaningful change. Her genuine empathy, active listening skills, and ability to ask powerful questions create a safe and nurturing space for her clients to explore their deepest desires and aspirations. Education has been a cornerstone of Acetra's journey, and she holds an impressive academic background. She has a bachelor's degree in marketing, equipped with a keen understanding of consumer behavioral and effective communication strategies. Additionally, she holds an associate degree in biblical studies, nurturing her spiritual foundation and providing her with a unique perspective on personal growth and development. Acetra's thirst for knowledge led her to earn a master's degree in organizational leadership, honing her leadership skills and expanding her understanding of human dynamics with organizations. As a John Maxwell certified speaker, Acetra possesses the ability to captivate audiences and inspire positive change. She shares her insights, wisdom, and life lessons to uplift and motivate individuals to reach their full potential. Her engaging speaking style, coupled with her practical strategies and relatable anecdotes, leave a lasting impact on those fortunate enough to hear her message. In all aspects of her life, Acetra D. Russell embodies strength, resilience, and a genuine desire to make a difference. Whether it's guiding teams towards success, coaching individuals on their personal journeys, or inspiring audiences from the stage, she leaves an indelible mark on lives she touches. With her unwavering commitment to growth and transformation, Acetra is a true catalyst for positive change in the world. Let me just say, welcome, 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 Miss Acetra. Thank you so much for joining me on today.
Wow. I am so excited. Listening to all of that. Wow, you made me sound really. I'm like, who is this woman? That's me, right? Yeah.
I
So
love
thank
it.
thank you so much, Dr. Russell. All of that is wonderful. I'm so excited and happy to be here today to share with you and your listeners. So this is a pretty exciting time for me right now.
Awesome. Well, I will say that I am equally excited to have you here on today. Look, we're going to jump right in because reading that bio, I am all too interested in hearing about the rest of who Acetra Russell is, right? Like listening to your academic background, what inspired you to get on your journey for education?
It took a while for me to get there because you know how we are. We procrastinate a little bit because we're afraid of the unknown. So, what inspired me was the journey that God placed on my heart. And I felt that you need the education also to go along with the gift that God has given you. So just thinking about some of the courses that I wanted to take in the beginning, I started with the associate's degree in biblical studies because I wanted to know a little bit more about the Bible. You know, when you're speaking life into people, you need to know what you're talking about. Organizational leadership, my company pays 100% for our tuition. That was the closest thing that I could get that they would just be in full transparent. That's the closest thing that I could get that they would pay for. But when you're thinking about organizational leadership, you're thinking about how you tap in to the leaders' minds. And if I'm able to tap into the leaders' minds, I'm able to tap into anyone else's also. So you're looking not only at their leadership, but you're looking also at their behavior and some of the ways or some of the things that they do when they're in leadership, how they treat their people, how they talk to their people, how they listen to their people. So that kind of helped with my education. So moving on to getting a professional and personal coaching, I felt that would help me in the long run also, because if I'm speaking to others, I do need to know what I'm talking about, but I also need to be relatable and learn how to listen instead of providing advice.
I love it. I love it. I will definitely say that there is a huge difference in providing advice and listening, right? Like listening causes you to fully pay attention to the individual, as well as you're sometimes listening for what's not being said, right? So
Right.
I know that I personally love the space of life coaching. I love the space of leadership coaching as well as business coaching. So tell me just a little bit about what the life coaching side of things look like for you.
Life coaching is, I have a 12-week program. This 12-week program, it consists of many women where we gather together through Zoom and we share our stories. I always feel that I'm being totally transparent because I feel my story can help someone else. It empowers them to kind of release and be able to share also. So that coaching part of it is more of a listening to what is happening in your life. How can we expand on that? How can we empower you to want to grow further? How can we empower you to step out on faith and do the things that God has imparted in you?
I will say that that is super amazing. Now, you said that this program is a 12-week course.
Yes, it's a 12-week empowerment workshop. And what it entails is gives you a 10-step process that'll lead you to becoming whole if you're broken. It also gives you a 10-step process to learn how to step out on faith and take that leap of faith to conquer those battles that you're going to, whatever's stopping you from getting to where you need to be. This 10-step process kind of shares what I did, how I came from being broken to 100% healed.
I will say I love it. So, tell me just a little bit about your story because you were saying that you went from broken to healed. And so I don't know about you, but I believe somebody else is probably just a little bit curious about what happened and how you were able to make it through that transition.
Well, Dr. Russell, my story started back in 2007 when I found out that my daughter was diagnosed with a brain tumor. She was only 7 years old at the time. I was married to my ex-husband at the time also. And finding out that she had a brain tumor crumbled my world. I have two girls. It crumbled my world and it almost put a halt to my life because my life was centered around her. It was centered around in making, trying to make her whole again. So when I went into prayer, God showed me that the word 100% healed. So my prayer was my daughter was going to be 100% healed. And that's all I could think about. My thoughts was, okay, she's going to be healed because we're going to be able to tell her story. And when you're looking at the percentage of kids that actually survive through this type of tumor, the tumor was an astrocytoma glioma brain tumor. You're looking at 20% of a survival rate for kids who survive this tumor. So with God placing in my heart 100% healed, that was my thought. My thought was, okay, this is for her. This is because we're going to be able to tell her story. Well, that didn't happen. She survived the tumor for 2 years. And after she survived it, after her death, 6 months after that, I went through a divorce. So I'm thinking, what is really going on here? Why is this happening? Why am I feeling like I'm losing everything? Because prior to all of this happening, I was experiencing a failing marriage. But with my youngest daughter getting sick, it took all of our attention off of the failing marriage and placed our attention on trying to get her healed. So, but prior to this, I used to always profess that I feel like I'm living the life of Job. And we know, death and life is in the power of the tongue, right? So I was professing that. So after Raven's death and after the divorce, I had to change my mindset. I had to empower myself to have a different thought because now that I know that that 100% healed word wasn't for her, I found out that it was for me. It was God working in me, healing me to get over this brokenness that I felt from losing my child, but not only losing my child, from a failed marriage, because I felt like I failed. I failed her. I failed this marriage. I didn't know what else to do, but I knew that what I had to do was figure it out because I had another child that was depending on me. So when I thought about 100% healed, I'm like, okay, that's what I need to work on. I need to work on healing me. I need to create this whole new life for myself. So that's where the school came into play. That's where taking those classes come in for personal and professional growth, because I need to figure out what can someone say to me to make me feel better. And once I figured that out, I needed to know, okay, what can I say to someone else to make them feel the way I feel right now, that I need to keep pressing on? So that 100% heal, that came because I'm working into that now. I'm working my way up to healing, and I'm at 99.9% right now. I think that 0.1% is when my book come out.
I love it. I love it. It definitely sounds like that was such an amazing journey. Like I cannot, first of all, pronounce the diagnosis, right? And then secondly, more importantly, I can only imagine what that was like to go through that and then have the different transitions through that process. So I will say, what is something that you used on a regular basis to kind of help you stay motivated or stay strong throughout this process?
I think one of the things that I do, Dr. Russell, is I talk to myself constantly during the day. Because when you're starting on this journey, it's not easy. It's not an easy journey because you have to constantly tell yourself that you're worthy and that you're worth this life is worth living and that you didn't do anything wrong. It's that this is just what the cards were that was played for you because God is strengthening you. Because your story is not for you. It happened to you, but it's not for you, it's for someone else. So what kept me going is number one, my daughter. My oldest daughter is my biggest cheerleader. So I feel that I have to constantly keep pressing and keep moving because not only did this happen to me, it happened to her also. So I look to her to see that smile on her face. And I feel when she's happy, I'm happy. So what keeps me going is proving to myself that I can do this, that I have the strength to do it, but also knowing that God has my back, that I know He's going to push me further and further off that cliff. He has been pushing me to do all of these things that's so much outside of my comfort zone. But because I know He's pushing me out of my comfort zone, it keeps pushing me to do more. So each day I'm doing more. Each day I'm talking more, sharing my story about Raven sometimes, makes people sad, but it strengthens me. So one of the things that I do say in my 10-step process is that you have to talk about it. You have to share it, because the more you talk about it, the stronger you get. The second thing I talk about is you have to create a new life for yourself. You can't stay stuck in where you are, because you have to keep moving and you have to keep pushing. And those are a couple of the tips that I am going to share with you, because I feel that when you take this course, you'll learn more. The meat of the course is telling my story and telling how I got over that cliff.
Oh, yeah, it definitely sounds super amazing with you talking about that in your course. So I would say, quite often, because people are not open to talking about what they're dealing with, let's say right now, what would you say to that woman or to that person that's going through a similar challenge in their life right now today on how it is that they can get themselves up from that place and keep moving?
I say it's okay to not be okay. I say there are going to be days where you don't want to share your story, where you don't want to talk, where all you want to do is cry. And that's okay. But I tell you what, don't stay there. Don't stay there. If there's even one person that you can share with, share that. But you know what made it a little easy for those days that I was not able to speak verbally? I wrote it down. Start journaling. Start journaling your story. Once you keep writing and you're writing your story, you're releasing it. Releasing it allows you to eventually speak it. So right now, if you can't talk, if you can't share, write it down. Write it down, because it makes it easy. The more you write, the easier it gets.
So, why do you feel like it's important, though, for them to talk about it or to write it down? What does that do for the healing process?
It releases. It releases everything. We as women, we're always seen as being strong. And we're always seen as being strong for everyone else. One thing that people used to always say to me is, "You're so strong. How do you do this? You're so strong." No, I wasn't. I was not strong. I kept that pent up anxiety in me for so long that I had to release it, because it's unhealthy if you don't. So writing it down releases it from your heart. And when you're experiencing brokenness, you need something. It's like having a cold. When you have a cold, what did the doctor tell you to do if you have pneumonia? They tell you to cough, right? When you cough, you're releasing. So you're releasing all of that out of you. Holding that in, it destroys your heart. And you don't want your heart to be destroyed, because there's so many people out there that's depending on you, that loves you, and that want to hear your story. So you have to release that so you can let it go.
Let's just say I'm loving this, right? How often, though, should people be in that mindset or in that frame of releasing things, right? Like, how often? Because, you know, quite often I hear people go through lots and lots and lots of challenges, right? So you're saying to talk about it, journal it down, or, because that helps with releasing it. So, how often should they do that?
As often as they can. If you have someone that's listening to you, do it. Record yourself saying it. Write it down every day. You should write in your journal at least every morning or every evening about the things that you've gone through. When my daughter was in the hospital, the world was shut off. It kept going, but it stopped for me because I was in that hospital. I have maybe 5 notebooks of just journals, just writing. When she was asleep, I'm just writing. And that helped me get through her illness while she was in the hospital. Yeah, sometimes I go back and I read and I cry, but it's a release. You have to release as often as you can. If someone's there to listen to you, do it. If you're in a house by yourself, do it. Release and pray. There's no time limit on how many times you should release, because what makes you feel good is releasing, and what works for you should work for you. I talk about it a lot. Any chance that I can get, I do share my story. I don't mind sharing my story. It's healing for me.
That is so amazing that you're willing to share your story. So, how did you get to the place of where you now want to be transparent about what you went through?
It took a minute for me to do that, but I think it's because I didn't want anyone to feel sorry for me in the beginning. And because when you tell someone, when someone asks you, do you have kids? I easily say, yes, I have one, but I had two. And if they say, well, what happened? And then I share with them, and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, but I'm not, because my story can help someone else. So being transparent allows someone else to heal. I think sometimes we fail to tell the whole story. And we fail to tell the whole story because we don't want anyone to feel sorry for us. Well, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore whether you do or whether you don't, because it's a release for me. And I know if I'm telling my story to 10 people, if I can help heal one person's heart, then I know that I did what God wanted me to do. So
I agree. I agree. Definitely. I think sometimes we go on this journey and we feel like we're going to save everybody, right? Like everybody that we encounter, they're going to walk away different. And rightfully so. We should have that attitude. But I believe that one person that you touch, that one person that's able to make that transition or towards being healed is
mhm.
hugely important. So I will say, that definitely works for me. I saw where you have a platform called Moving Mountains. So tell me just a little bit about that. I know that this probably encompasses the course, but just share with us just a little bit about how you came up with that name and the program itself.
How I came up with the name is because the word says, if you have faith as little as a mustard seed, you can tell your mountains to move. Well, I thought about all of my mountains: the death of my daughter, the death of well, the failed marriage, the death of my ex-husband. Those were mountains for me. Those were mountains that I knew that I could move because I had that faith, because I knew God had my back. So when I thought about Moving Mountains Ministries, I thought about it because I have a desire to provide and support women that are just like me, that are out there that don't know how to move those mountains. I draw from my experience and my growth in this journey. And that's why I created that, because I know there are so many like minded women out there that need to know how to move that mountain. And the journey started with that. Many years ago, I had a vintage tea, and I invited women of all ages, and we discussed marriage, we discussed divorce, we discussed dating, and all, and we all had maybe a different story, but the outcomes were similar: hurt, pain, brokenness. And we all got together and we loved on one another, and we shared our experiences, and we shared how we got over that brokenness. So that played a special part in why I started this ministry, because I know there's many women out there that need these vintage teas, that need to have these talks with each other, old and young. We have young adult women that's coming up that's in these relationships that they think they're going to be in forever because they're dating. Well, we need to equip them and ready them for life and how to experience these, not all tragedies, but how to be prepared for it.
Let's just say you are definitely giving us the tea, right, on how it is that we can help ourselves to get to that next place, right, and not stay stuck and stuck. So I love the name of your platform of Moving Mountains. So tell me this, tell me, what's next for Miss D. Russell?
What's next for D. Russell? Well, next week, August 26th, I am going to be a part of a powerful summit called Powerful on Purpose. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to speaking, and I'm also looking forward to listening to the other amazing speakers that are going to be at the event. Then in October, I will be releasing my new book, 100% Healed. I'm excited about that. My birthday's next month, so that's a huge birthday gift for me. And then in November, I will be starting a 12-week empowerment workshop. That's coming soon. That'll be on my webpage. Um, People can find the information for that on acetrarussell.com. And I'm looking forward to this new journey that's coming forward. I'll probably be also starting a 6-week book club where we read about the book Moving Mountains. So that's coming up also.
I am loving all of this today, all of this for sure. I will say it sounds like you have a lot going on. It's going to be amazing fourth quarter. I can already tell. So tell me this, if you had to leave one thing for our listeners on today, on how it is that they can, just get up from where they are and continue to go forward, what would that one thing of inspiration be for them?
Listen, this is what I need to tell these women today. You are empowered to do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Do not allow anyone to stop you from leaping into faith and stepping out into your destiny. Like-minded women out there, we are here to push ourselves to the limit. There is no stopping what you can do once you have God on your side.
Ooh, yes. Yes. I love it. I will say it has been more than a pleasure on today, just hearing all about your story and what it is that you're doing, what's next for you. I can definitely tell that it's going to be amazing. I am also looking forward to being there with you on August the 26th at the Powerful on Purpose Summit in Columbia, South Carolina. It's about to go down. I can only say that you're going to have the opportunity to come and deliver your message in person. So I'm super excited. I will also say, can you leave with us how it is that people can contact you?
Yes, I sure will, Dr. Russell. You can contact me on acetrarussell.com. Check me out on Instagram, Acetra Russell. And I'm also on Facebook at D Russell. Check me out. I'm out there now, y'all.
I love it. I love it. I think that you are so amazing and you are doing some amazing things with helping women to get back on track, right? To get up from those challenges that they have experienced. So I will definitely have to invite you back for another session with me here on Inside Inspired Women. So I am super thankful for you joining me on today. I will say that this has been amazing. So until next time, guys, this has been Inside Inspired Women, where we share with you the journey to inner peace and inspiration. Thank you so much. And until next time.
Thank you.